Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're talking about 1973 Topps, the set and its heirs. Pretty cool looking set. 660 cards in the set. It was printed in 5 series, and the 5th series could be that hard to find one. It's considered high numbers, and they're available in less quantities now, so they're pretty rare. A little more value there. If you're here for the Goose Attack, you can skip ahead to the last part, maybe the last 30 or 40 seconds of the video. It's okay. I won't be mad. If you're into Goose Attacks and not so much into baseball cards, hey, I'm just glad you're here. Before we get started, if you're not already subscribed to my buddy Darren's channel, that is Grunt Baseball. That's his YouTube channel for all things baseball, quick clips, stuff that's going on in the hobby and the sports. It's a great resource. Also, his website, grunttalksmlb.com. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go hit that subscribe button. Do it while you're thinking about it. It helps my channel grow. Thank you. Let's get into this. Okay, so 1973 Topps. We're going to go through the list. There's quite a few errors in this one. Well, let's get started with number 12. So Padres leaders cards. Garcia's left ear is faded or it can be visible. So his actual ear of the coach there. Also, you see something going on with the backgrounds of these leaders cards. It'll say varying orange background. It can be like an orange, or it can be like more of like a pale, like a tan colored. And that goes for all of these leaders cards. So if you hear that, it's something that's unique for all of them. And a lot of them will have trees in the back of the coaches, like in the background, where they'll take them out on some of them. Not really hard to find and not really more valuable, but pretty cool ones, right? So number 45, Ellie Rodriguez. The photo is not of him, and this is an uncorrected error, so they never corrected it. Who's pictured, though? So some people say it's Paul Ratliff, and some people say it's John Felsky, but most resources say that it's Paul Ratliff that's pictured there, and Topps did not correct that. Put the wrong player on there. Twins leaders, number 49. This is one of them that has trees in the background, or can have no trees in the background of the coach's pictures there. Cubs leaders, 81, varying orange background. 85, Ted Simmons, Hall of Famer. There's a red streak and kind of a broken top border at the top. Really easy to find. It looks like a comet or some streak going across the top of the card. You can get it with or without that. Yankees leaders, 116, varying orange background. 124, Jim Harden. There's a green blob on the grass. So I'll give you like a little picture there. You can see that it's not not normal looking there. 131, Red Sox leaders. Don Lenhart's ear is airbrushed out or it's visible. So I don't know. They had a hard time deciding whether they wanted the coach's ears in there or not. Lee May, 135. It lists his career batting average as 0. Okay, well, obviously not correct. That was uncorrected. Orioles leaders, 136. Varying orange backgrounds. Bobby Bonds, 145. Father of the home run leader, Barry Bonds. So stats from 1966 Fresno through 1969 Giants are mixed up. So I don't know, they were drinking something that day when they typed in those stats. They are not correct. A's leader, 179. There's 3 variations of this one here. So the A's leaders, so Vern Hoscheit and Irv Noren left ears are visible, and it can have no trees. Noren's ear could be visible, or it could have a background with trees visible in Irv Noren's picture. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Just take my word for those 3 errors, and they're not really worth that much. So card number 80, Tony Oliva. This is one of my favorite errors. Very easy to find. It has Minnesota instead of Minnesota, and that was never corrected. Number 180, Fergie Jenkins, Hall of Famer. There's a black horizontal line on the side border, and it's kind of weird, but also really easy to find. No extra value for that one. George Hendrick, 201. Baseball can be either white or yellow. So in the bottom corner there, it can be either white or yellow. So I'm going to file this one under trivia because I don't necessarily believe that it's a true variation. I think it's just an ink issue because you can see other parts of the card that are missing ink, and it was very rare. So Let's leave that one under trivia. I don't think that's a true variation. Number 205, World Series game number 3. Uncorrected error again. Squeaker is misspelt with 2 E's. There should be EA in it. Number 221, Fred Kendall. This is an uncorrected error as well. So the 1971 Hawaii stats on the back of the card are actually added to his major league totals. They did not correct that one. 237 Braves leaders. Lou Burdett's ear can be visible or cut off. Okay, so once again with the ears, they struggled with those. Okay, so number 252, Giants leaders. There's a varying orange background once again on that one. Mets leaders 257. Yost home is misspelt. I don't know, hoppage. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they misspelt the word. That was uncorrected. So if you have the card, you have the error, but that does mean no extra value. Varying orange background on that card as well. And 280 Al Kaline, maybe the most famous error in this set. Al Kaline with the airbrushed Band-Aid. Okay, so there's a few different things going on here where it could have a Band-Aid right under his hat on his forehead. Topps came back and decided that needed to be airbrushed out. So if you have the one with the Band-Aid, it can go for some serious money. Like PSA recently sold for like $900 for this card. Very rare. Topps airbrushed it out early in the production. There's actually another variation as well where there's a small black dot in the upper right. Now, this is an actual confirmed variation. It's not like I just found one and I'm featuring it. There's a lot of them that have that little black dot in the top right-hand corner. Now, here's the weird thing. None of the Band-Aids have that, but the ones without the Band-Aid, it could have the white dot or no black dot. Okay, so it's like 3 variations of this card. Kind of weird that's going on there, but Al Kaline, Hall of Famer, cool guy. And if you got that Band-Aid one, wow, hang on to that one. You got some money. All right, Walt Williams, 297. There's yellow grass on the left side of the card. Could be yellow or green. Billy Martin, 323. I like Billy Martin. Here's his coach card. Now, on Billy Martin's card here, there's a varying orange background again, but there's a known name for the second coach. It's just an empty white square next to it. That was an uncorrected error, so they did not come back and add that guy's name. Joe Schultz is his name that they left off. 329 Ed Kranepool. There's yellow on the grass. 360 Joe Rudy. This is an uncorrected error. There's 3 people showing on the card. None of them are him. Okay, so they left his picture off the card altogether, but they have 3 people on there. That one's kind of a weird one. Uncorrected. Expos leaders 377, varying orange background. Cy Acosta 379. There's a red logo circle down at the bottom, but it could be either orange or red. Though I'm going to see if I can zoom in here. This one is really orange, like it's washed out. That's pretty rare. I mean, it's probably still only worth a couple bucks. Like, it was easy to find on eBay, but that should be a red circle there. So definitely a variation on that one. Jose Cardinal, 393. There's a red blob on his cap. So, well, it's kind of pink, but you see some pinkness over there, and that should not be there. It should be just blue, but pretty easy variation to find. You can get it with or without that. Angels leaders 421, varying orange background. 422 Bob Robertson. There's a green spot under his elbow and in his hair. Okay, so green spot down there and then in his hair as well. So those would be normally considered print flaws, right? But this was a mass-produced one, and they're pretty easy to find with that green dot, but not nearly as easy to find as, of course, the corrected one. So maybe a couple bucks, not hard to find, but a pretty cool one. Dave LaRoche, 426. The inset photo leg is disconnected. Looks like his leg is severed and disconnected from the body on that little picture down at the corner. I'll show you what that looks like. So Dan Frisella, 432. The lower left border has a large chunk missing out of it. Well, I want to talk about the black borders real quick. So this set had a real issue with that black border being interrupted, being broken up by like little white streaks, little white specks looking. And those are generally regarded as variations in the set. I kind of went down the rabbit hole, started gathering all those, and I realized that there was way too many. Sometimes it was broken in different places on an established variation. And then I started looking at cards that weren't considered variations, and I found them as well. I decided to leave them off of the list altogether. So when you see interrupted black border on these variations, I'm leaving them out just because there's way too many of them, and I didn't really see a trend of consistency in that. So moving on, 434 San Francisco Giants card. The R is partial on the back of the card. So you see how it's, I'll show you a picture, it's kind of missing part of the R. That one was really hard to find. I don't have that one. I'd like to find it. 449 Indians leaders, Warren Spahn. Okay, he has some ear issues going on again. It can be pointed like an elf, like elven ear or something, or it can be kind of rounded. And also it has the varying orange background on those photos. 452, Paul Casanova. Cool name, right? Has yellow marks in the grass on the right side of the card. And 458, Jim Mason. So, okay, so you can kind of see on his back, you can see letters for his name. And there is a black mark on those letters. It's not supposed to be there. That is a variation. Pretty tough to find with that black spot. It's much easier to find the corrected. Ken Tatum, 463. There's a red slash in the inset photo, just a red slash there. You'll pretty easy to see, pretty easy to find too. 485 Norm Cash, uncorrected error. The cartoon says that the Chicago Bears selected him in the first round, but it should have been the 13th round. Okay, big difference there. Phillies leaders, 486, varying orange background. Same with 497, the Cardinals leaders. 517, Pirates leaders, Bill Mazeroski, Hall of Famer Maz. So his ear is airbrushed out, or it can be visible. So kind of one of those weird ear issues again. Chris Arnold's 584, numbers on the right side. Okay, so it's like it was at the very end of the sheet or something, and there's some numbers there. I'm going to really try to zoom in here. And they're kind of cut off, but you can see what the numbers are. So that's not really an error. It's just kind of the end of the sheet. But if you can find this card where it's kind of miscut, it'll usually have those numbers present. So not a ton of notables in the set, but there's a few. So probably the biggest notable is the Mike Schmidt rookie, one of the greatest third basemen of all time. Let's see, the final year of Roberto Clemente, rest in peace. So, and it's a pretty popular card of his. It's a little less expensive than obviously his early ones, but it's still a collector's because it's his final card in the set for a sad ending to an awesome, awesome player. The Schmidt rookie is kind of the keystone of the set. The complete set sells for anywhere between like $700 up to well over $1,000. The set gets some criticism for being ugly. People state that the photos are terrible. So Topps kind of attempted something different here to capture action shots, like players sliding into home base, whatever. But it didn't really land well with fans. With multiple players on the card, sometimes you didn't even know who was being pictured. So it didn't really take off, and I think they kind of got away from that. A card that consistently sells for just a couple bucks, but is pretty popular, and a good example of this is the Corrales card. He's placing a tag on Fergie Jenkins sliding into home base. Fergie later said that he was safe. It's a cool card I had to add to my collection. Hey guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Leave some comments down below. Let's talk about this goose attack. And we'll see you next time.
Hi, Goose Goose. Here you go, Goose Goose. Ow! You're not getting any more because you bit me. You get no more.